Hey guys, I actually have to sneeze, but I cannot, and that really sucks because I really have a really bad feeling in my nose right now. This is the best introduction ever. I have to sneeze. Awesome. Everybody wants to stay in my video. Okay, so we're gonna continue talking a little bit about some themes in Stormbreaker. The last video did really well, so I'm gonna continue talking about certain themes I have in Stormbreaker. So in the last video, I said that Lyro starts off as pretty weak. And as I already said, I think weak characters are really interesting because when you have a weak character, you really feel like you're growing up with them together and you see the progress. It's like a game, basically. And that's really cool because there is a lot of deepness to a character who grows, you know? And it's much more realistic because nobody starts off as strong, you know? And it's much more relatable. And it's also really entertaining because if someone constantly fails, well, it can be really funny and it can be also interesting because you never know if the character wins a fight. You know, if the character wins a fight and loses a fight in the same manner, we never know if the character will win in the next fight. You know? The character is giving its best, but we don't know what the outcome of the fight is. You know, and that's cool. And I kind of want that in some fights Lyra will win and in some fights she will lose. And if she loses in a lot of fights, if she wins a fight, it feels much more satisfying because we actually experience that she really gains something, you know? And she accomplished something. So for the people who don't know who Lyra is, she is the main character of my webtoon Stormbreaker. Sometimes I don't really care about Stormbreaker. I have days where I feel like, I don't care about my webtoon at all. It doesn't fucking matter. And then I have days where I love it and I think it's the coolest thing in the earth. So yeah, Lyra is my main character. She is also probably in the thumbnail of this video. So it's definitely different to mangas like Solo Leveling. Because in Solo Leveling, the main character just has constant aura and wins and gets stronger and wins and that's just really boring. He doesn't have any personality. I think also like giving my characters personality is something that is really important to me. Because if you have characters that have a lot of personality, it's just non-stop entertaining, right? So I think that's really important. You will learn a lot about the power system, and with Lyra starting with nothing, you can slowly learn more and more from the power system, you know? So there will more and more stuff introduced, and you realize more and more what the characters can do. When a character starts being strong, well, you already know a lot what is possible in the power system, obviously. But if we start with nothing, more and more information about the power system will be slowly revealed, and that's really cool. And the power system in my story is really complex. There are a lot of ways how you can go through a fight. And my fights will be probably really long because I'm trying to put a lot of strategy into them and make them creative and funny and entertaining. And something where you don't know what will happen next. You know, you see a character in a certain situation in a fight and you don't know how their next move is, and they have a certain kind of skill set, and you have to figure out, like, they have to be creative how to use their skills they have to win the fight, and that's really cool. I can talk about that even more when I'm constructing fights. I think this will be interesting too, to talk about how to construct a fight. I think that's really interesting because no mangaka is really talking about that, and I'm kind of figuring it out right now, and I kind of having my own style, and I already have really cool ideas. And I think this is also a skill that you will become better and better. The more you construct fights, the better you become, right? And another thing why I want to make Luro weak at the beginning is I want to make an inspirational story. A story people can watch and be inspired by and feel like, yeah, I can do it like Luro. I mean, that doesn't mean that you are fighting super strong villains like Luro, but you are capable of reaching your goals if you keep going and you keep working hard and you keep grinding, and that's what I want the story to be about. That Luro is inspirational, and it's not just about Luro, it's also about me. Because me as an artist, I'm also growing. I have something in my throat. I'm also growing as an artist, and the more and more I'm diving into the story, the more I learn stuff, and I can share inspirational concepts with you. So this is not just the characters teaching you a lesson, this is the author myself sharing my experiences I have. And I think this is really cool. This is kind of like as I would communicate with my readers. And in general, my story is a lot about me. I put a lot of my personal feelings into it because I feel like if it's like my personal feelings, it will be more real and people will be more touched by it because it feels human. And my story, I think a current theme in my story is also like how it is to be human. It's a pretty simple concept, but I think a lot of stories don't do that well because a lot of people apparently forget how to be human, and sometimes you have to ask the simple questions of life to create a story, And I kind of want to show that you have to be a simple-minded person to live a fulfilling life. And I want to share my life experiences with people, as I already said. So yeah, I'm trying. I like psychology, I like philosophy, and I kind of want to share that with people. So yeah, I have even more themes in my story. I don't know what I'm going to talk about in the next video, but yeah, that was basically the video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.